Okay, wowee. Attempt number 2 at live streaming is a go with my Ratchet and Clank 20th anniversary stream, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to be flying not solo tonight. I'm going to be playing it as Dylan, friend of me, everyone, I would say. Tierney on Twitter for however long that lasts. Can you give it a shout?
Oh, the video like disconnected. I'm sorry, you need to reintroduce me.
You need a what? I'm sorry.
No, you need to reintroduce me because the video cut out on me. I had to refresh the page.
Gotcha. So sorry about that. Friend to everyone, Dylan.
Hello.
Tierney on Twitter, like tier maker, then knee.
Exactly. Hello, Robert. Hello. What are we?
Yes.
What? So, tell me about what we're playing here. What are we doing?
Gotcha. Just checking audio levels right now. We're doing good. Speaking of, we're checking the audio files on the Ratchet and Clank 2002 version, and just doing a straightforward playthrough with one slight modification. Oh. That one slight modification is
ultra widescreen. No.
What?
I said ultra widescreen.
Ultra widescreen. No, unfortunately, I
21 by 9.
I don't have that capability just yet. But I am not buying any ammo. I am essentially treating this as like a survival horror game where the only ammo I'm picking up is just along the way. So I'm gonna see a vendor up here. Let's see here. Pass here. There we go. I'm gonna see a vendor here. I can only buy guns, so I can buy a taunter here.
Oh, that's a nice one.
There we go. Go. So I'm already a few levels in. I played with Mike and Curtis in the previous episode. Now I am going to progress along. Let's see. I think I already went through the right way.
Right.
And I'm going to head down the left way here. So beyond that, pretty straightforward for the most part. A couple of times it's been a pain in the ass because I cannot buy any ammo, so it's a little difficult, especially when you're like overrun with a lot of enemies. But beyond that,
is there any kind of 1-2 combo that just kind of deals with a lot of the scrub type enemies? That.
I mean, honestly, at this point, it's the flamethrower for the time being, and the glove of doom. Whenever I get the ammo for it, where it just sends a bunch of little dudes and it goes out and explodes themselves on people. But beyond that, it is really like, what else do I have? Do I have any ammo for anything else? Because I am bone dry most of the time.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a modified wrench run, which is almost impossible, or like not entirely impossible, but it is a giant pain.
A giant chore. Yeah, sounds cumbersome. I was never one for challenges beyond stuff like in Nuzlocke and whatnot, like house rules or things like that, just because I'm like...
Yeah, and the intention really is just more, all right, playing a Ratchet and Clank game, you played one, you play them all practically. It is a relatively easy game once you get to the hang of it. You get a bunch of weapons, you shoot things, it's a somewhat platformer, but it is getting harder than I expected early on. I was expecting it more in the middle levels where it gets kind of like, kind of ass kicky.
Yeah.
But I did not expect it to get to like literally the first section.
Right then and there, yeah.
Right then and there, exactly. But other than that, how is your Sunday? Mine could be a lot better. I'm wearing this jersey for a reason. I don't know why.
Been a quiet Sunday. I usually get all my chore type stuff for the week, like laundry and a lot of garbage to clean up on Saturdays. And then by the time I get to Saturday evening, everything's done and I can enjoy my evening. Which leaves Sunday kind of open for me. So for right now, I am trying to get the Metroid Prime hack working. For a potential video idea I have related to Metroid Prime. very doubtful I'll get it in time for the 20th anniversary on the dot, but yeah, it might be something kind of soonish. I want to do something about Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I've had those deadlines before. It's just like, oh, if I get this out
you don't need those
by the anniversary, it's like it's not going to make a big dent. You're not a huge YouTuber.
You may as well give it an extra week to like actually make it good instead of just trying to reach a deadline. But
exactly. What's the general idea for the Prime hack?
I mean, it's a sort of PC optimized version of the Metroid Prime trilogy. Like, it's widescreen.
Okay.
It's got like very adjustable POV slider type stuff for we're talking about ultra wide support, stuff like that. There's an HD texture pack that people have developed you can apply to this to make it just a bit more modern looking. And there's some different movement options. It's different than the tank controls of the GameCube game. But that's Metroid Prime, one of my favorite games.
Gotcha. So it sounds more like a really nice remastered port.
It's
unofficial.
It's what you would want out of it would honestly be what you want out of.
There's no big sexy mods beyond okay, it plays and runs better. More customizable.
I think Samus herself moves faster. It's a toggle or something.
Gotcha.
Throughout the game. But I want to play it for myself just to kind of know. Other than that, I have got. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Water here. God. There we go. Oh. One thing I don't like about this is just like the smooth controls. It's just full on ass.
They're mostly bad. Bad. I don't know what it is about water, but most 3D platformers are just considerably worse than them.
They're playing cribbage!
All right.
Yo, we're popping up for cribbage up in this house.
What's going on? Is there like a Bengals game going on in the background there?
No, Bengals have a bye this week, you silly goose.
Oh, that's why.
Goober. Come on.
I need to keep up. But do you have any history with Ratchet and Clank at all? I've pretty much asked
yes,
everyone.
actually, yeah. It's not a vast history, but it's a history in grade school. Like this says, like 6th or 7th grade or something like that. I didn't always buy a lot of games growing up. I would either borrow or trade or the other for games. And a friend let me borrow Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, and that was my first. And I've always
first taste, yeah.
And Rob's known that's my favorite, but he also knows that's because that's the only one I've really played in any serious capacity. Because I haven't played any of the PS3 ones. PS4 one seems lovely. Have not given it a shake myself, and of course. The new one on PS5 also looks pretty cool, but it's like you said, you played one, you kind of played them all, and
yeah. And the thing is with the first one, it is more platformer than like third-person shooter as like the later ones get to.
Sure.
Fuck. Shit. It's a lot more interesting. Oh God. Okay. Well. Great. Doing great.
How you playing this game before you're fine?
There's like a slight delay, and then you add in the factors of the controls are not great, especially during this section. Like this section it's like oddly stupid hard. But Up Your Arsenal is definitely one that's like if you're going to start with any or like play any of the Ratchet and Clank games, like
I love the PS2 era at least.
It's like
the one
easily top 3.
It was really fun then, and I know it holds up if I went back to it now, at least in some capacity.
Yeah. About as you can be with like Ratchet and Clank games.
That's how I kind of feel about the Sly games too, because I've gone back to them, and especially Jack and Daxter. It's like you got to be in like a kind of frame of mind, like all right, this is an old ass game. There are some control stuff you are going to probably have to get used to, just because there haven't been this types of controls in 20 years,
The art style really carries it
for sure.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, but like I said, I want to try to make it a little bit harder, especially when you get into the combat sections. It is, you know, it gets harder the more you play into it, when you actually face more enemies.
Right.
Especially once you get to Quark's Lair, which is the next level here. Like, it is a very stupid obstacle course that will beat you in your ass.
Oh, you see, my friend and I need to speak to the captain about a matter of galactic security.
You mean you and your walking camera? You paparazzi make me sick. Now beat it.
But sir, I'm
Kevin
sure
Michael
will
Richardson.
understand once we.
Now save it. I know how it works.
Yeah, he's multiple characters in this game, especially the villain, Drek.
You sell a picture to the info
Who's
and
as I like keep reminding us, it's like, oh yeah, Paul Giamatti played that character in the movie.
I have to listen to a
They had movie budget. What do you want?
So you don't get in unless I get a kickback.
It was him or somebody from Arrested Development, and he just throw a dartboard. Throw a dart at a dartboard.
Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor. Yeah, it's a perfect character for like a money grubbing asshole.
You know.
I don't know where we're like on such a big like Jeffrey Tambor or like Arrested Development like discussion, because that was a topic
It's
of
Mike.
discussion,
Mike's
like,
rewatching the
last
show.
episode.
Friend of the show,
Yeah.
Mike Jones.
There's an awful plot being hatched to destroy
No, not that
the
Mike
planet.
Jones.
Ratchet, he knows. Great. Does that mean we can go hoverboarding now?
My friends, we're all in grave danger, and I believe that together we can put a stop to this madness.
You almost sound like Duke Nukem.
You mean you want our help?
Look, Ratchet, I've been keeping an eye on you.
I don't know about
I've never
that,
seen
but
anyone
okay.
with such raw talent. You are a
Maybe
true
when
A little
we
bit
was
of
like
that, a little bit of
quieter,
Patrick Warburton, you know.
you know.
I could be famous?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, here, take this.
It sounds more like Phil Hartman's like Blasto.
Determination or just pure blind luck.
Because this character is practically that, if I remember correctly. I've only played the demo of the Blasto, and like that's really it.
Rescue more damsels in distress and save more civilizations than any other hero in the galaxy. Now is your opportunity to see if you've got the stuff heroes are made of. This infobot contains coordinates to Quark's secret base.
Oh boy.
Can you quickly conquer Quark's killer cannonade of confounded contraption? Can you quickly can you quickly quit? Oh, just make your way through the defenses to
Me
the
doing a YouTube read.
God.
You should have seen how many times spoilers are going to be in front of the show, Brendan Lundy's Metroid retrospective video. But how many times I had to try to record that? I basically did it all in one take.
Meet me at
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm realizing. It's just like, all right, figure out where the problem areas are, and like where to retake. But try
And
to
don't
do it like, all in
improv.
one.
Because if you go off, if you deviate off the script, you're not funny enough to keep it rolling. You got to make sure you stick to this. You got to make sure you stick to what you wrote.
Yeah, like by definition, don't quit your day job, kind of thing. Unless your
Right.
day job is doing improv.
Stay in the lane.
See, I'll swap over to the next level in a second. I might do another hoverboard race. I think. I think I qualified or like did the quest for it.
Since
Fuck
you
it.
now have a zoomerator, you can convert tricks to turbo. Press the square button to use turbo.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's not. I'm pressing
Obligatory
square.
vehicle section.
Exactly. Yeah. There's two of these, and they're both like not great.
In Sly 3, they had like World War I dogfighting.
No
Like
shit.
and planes and little biplanes, yeah.
Oh,
I
there.
have
we
no
go.
idea why.
Okay, it's not square. It's R1 here for some weird fucking reason. Yeah, I'm. Let's see here. Since we're talking about TV, we've been watching anything lately of interest?
Well, my wife's watching Cobra Kai about 10 feet away from me.
All right, fuck this race.
Cobra Kai season 5 came out a couple months ago, but she's just watching it now.
Oh, okay. Jesus, five seasons?
Yeah, they did this 5th season and after like 9 months after the last one. It's like very rapid paced.
Is it the kind of thing where it's like, it's actually like 6 to 10 episodes per season kind of thing,
I
right?
think it's like 10 episodes. I think it's decently. compared to some other Netflix stuff, I guess, spaced out.
Yeah, because it didn't premiere on like a YouTube Red or like when YouTube was trying to do like original content.
But yeah, they were trying to do their own spin on kind of like premium original content, and it's not as well as you expect. But you had some diamonds in the rough, like the likes of
Cobra Kai, and then in between like Scare PewDiePie.
Yeah, just dumb bullshit like that. But other than that, well, honestly, my wife's the big TV watcher. I'm more of a game player kind of person, but she's watched and enjoyed House of the Dragon.
Still need to catch up with that. I haven't seen a single episode.
Reckoning with the fact that she'll be in her 30s when the next season premieres. So that's going to be, it's one of those things. It's like, oh, fuck, the passage of time. They're not going to have the next season until, like, 2024.
Yeah, and it's just another year. Like, I say this as a 29-year-old. It's like, well...
It's another year, yeah.
It's fine. I mean, nothing's much changed. I thought you were making referencing to that like the early twist, I guess you can say, in like the House of the Dragon, or like something to do with like the weird stillbirth or birth. This is something to do with like a fucked up birth.
I don't pay that much attention to it.
Okay. Never mind.
Like I said, it's like one of those things you catch a lot of it in your peripheral vision kind of deal.
Gotcha. Fuck.
But yeah, I've been playing lots of video games actually.
Ooh, okay. I've been doing this thing recently where I've just been, all right, I'm gonna do something else, and then when I feel like, all right, I have like some free time this month to resub to Game Pass. When I'm like, all right, I'm feeling light on Destiny, I want to
Right.
do something else. So I started, I finished Tinykin, and then I started playing Unpacking. So some like nice like quick bites,
Yeah,
quibbies you can say.
Nah, nobody would say quibbies. But besides the aforementioned Metroid Prime thing I'm kind of messing with, I got into Spelunky 2 because a buddy got it on sale. They only added online multiplayer as of like a month ago, or like 2 months ago. It's a rather recent addition, actually.
Okay.
But Spelunky's good fun. Just kind of.
Is it co-op now, or is it still like competitive, like 1v1, 1v1?
Both are there.
For all. Okay.
Both options are there. There's co-op in the main kind of roguelike mode, and there's like the arcade sort of adventure mode. It's a good time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Do they make it harder if it's co-op at all, or no?
You share money, but besides that, no, they don't really make it that much harder or anything.
Oh, okay.
I can't really complain that.
Okay, so you can still like double team the shopkeeper and all that.
Oh yeah. Plenty of time.
I can't. Fuck. These trip mines are terrible. Now, what's really difficult about like Ratchet Clank 1 is there's no strafe. So I literally have to play like Resident Evil and just like, all right, stop, point, and shoot.
Right.
Another like interesting quirk about Ratchet Clank 1 is it's still operating on like the Spyro hit points, or like you have like 4 hit points, and if you lose out, you can't really gain more unless you're doing something a little more like a little more off the beaten path. Just wasting my bombs. All right. Remember, this section onward is just like one giant kick in the ass. They just keep coming. Fuck. Shit. With the blaster.
In other tech adjacent news, I did get my capture card working. I thought that it had been like a hardware issue that was the problem, but it was actually the USB cable, believe it or not.
Oh, that's weird. Because USB cables are like relatively reliable.
It's just because there are many different wattages and powers, and so you need like a heavy BBS, like 3.1 USB-C with blue, you know, like the blue on it. You need a really strong USB-C cable. There's one.
Interesting. Yeah, because there's some USB-C cables that can work as an output device. Right. And it just like blows my mind. Where it's just like, oh, it's USB-C to HDMI. It's like, how is that? How is that possible?
Is that possible? It defies. Yeah. It defies logic.
Shit. Throw out my little guys.
There's a little bit of a delay. Like I probably wouldn't play fighting games on it, but if I want to play a game like Pokemon Scarlet, maybe or something, it might be. It's gonna be pretty good for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I am very excited about. You can ask my wife. I won't shut the fuck up about it.
Well, perfect opportunity. I know nothing about Scarlet and what was it? Scarlet and Gray? Is it?
Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, Skylar and Violet. Okay.
Skylar and Wold.
So, what are they bringing to the table this year, or this generation? Is it another generation?
It's a new generation. Okay. Generation 9. It's the Palladia or Paldea region. One of the two. I can't remember
the Palladia channel.
Palladi channel.
Yeah.
But I believe it's based off like Spanish culture, Spain.
Oh, that's right.
But a lot of like data miners and leakers and type and people like that have gotten their hands on it already. Like it's kind of out there. If you had a modded Switch, you could probably just play it right now. But I'm being a good boy and not doing that.
Do you just need like a modded Switch or a Yuzu? Yuzu or Yozo?
Yuzu. Well, you gotta have it optimized for that kind of thing. Like it's a little different than just extracting your Switch file, you know, from the cart and plugging it into Yuzu. It's a little bit different than that. So I don't know about Yuzu. I just know that it works with actual Yuzu.
Gotcha.
I'm not hacking my Switch though. I have a launch Switch. I can do it pretty easily, but Hannah wanted to get Pokemon too, so we're just gonna get 2 copies.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is it's like you don't know like what sort of like limitations you might bring if you try to hack it.
That too. I might fuck it up.
That's the thing. Like I'm worried about. Like with some things, like I may try to hack or do some like emulation mods. If it doesn't have like Steam Workshop, like a Steam Workshop function, then I probably won't like fuck with the mods that much.
Or then that's when you get into the world of like dedicated like Android handhelds, you know, like the Retroid or the fucking like. There are so many. It is such a saturated market now of just basically the worst Android phone you've ever seen in your life, just slapped in a controller shell, and it's called like the Retrod or the Retroid or the play your old Game Boy games.
It's like that sounds nice, but also like if I'm gonna do any gaming at all, it's gonna be on the computer.
Yeah, I don't want to do it on. I don't really want to game on my phone unless it's Marvel Snap. Or maybe Hearthstone, but typically not.
Which, like, I've been getting very into also.
Yeah, it's good. Are you in the second pool of cards? Like the collection 200 or whatever?
I have to check my my level. It's like I forgot where I'm at. It's like all I know is for this season I'm at 25, kind of hovering around there. Because I've been gambling too much and I've been snapping too much.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. What are some of your go-to cards? So are you like a on reveal type person, or ongoing, or you like to
ongoing.
move around your cards?
I like ongoing. I want to do discard, but I don't have enough of a synergy package there. I have Apocalypse, which is kind of your payoff card for a discard deck, because every time you discard, the deck in your hand gets stronger.
I've yet to unlock Apocalypse just yet, but I kind of want to, because you got Deathblock, who can like remove your entire location cards. Obviously Wolverine. Then there's Swordmaster, who just strikes away one of your deck. And I'm still rolling with like Swordmaster and Wolverine, and the off chance like that combination like occurs.
I still like ongoing, if nothing else, then for Devil Dinosaur into like Onslaught shenanigans. You know, like you can kind of take over a couple of locations pretty easily with that, or with Odin and White Tiger. Because White Tiger will summon the 7/7 or the 7 like attack.
The random 7 card, yeah. That
so
one is like,
twice. Yeah, it can swing games.
Oh, I really like it when you have like the duplicator location. It's just like, oh, all right, double up on the White Tiger, or I'll just double up on the Iron Hearts. The one where like they have like 0 additional power, and then you just like proceed to just like, you know what? I'm gonna add like 6 more power to like 3 random cards.
But other than that, I've been playing Auto Hearthstone Battlegrounds, the Auto Battler Hearthstone. It's pretty fun.
Gosh.
Well, I've got some friends who got into it, and it is free to play. So I've just been playing with friends mostly, but it's a good time. Like, it's really out of that whole genre. I feel like it's just TFT and Battlegrounds are like the only
Team Fight Tactics. That's the League of Legends one, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay. I forget there's like a bunch of like League of Legends games that are
right as pandemic started, like that shit was popping off.
Yeah. Speaking of, as a seasoned Hearthstone player, what makes Hearthstone like different from Marvel Snap? Because like now, like I've played enough of Marvel Snap where it's like, all right, I get the feel. I get like how it's supposed to be played. What's the idea of it?
Well, I mean, you see Snap's brisk pace, and you see its formatting and how it's presented. It's made for a mobile platform first. That is how it's a lot different than Hearthstone. Hearthstone was made as like just a digital card platform, and they happened to have a good phone interface later in development. It was not originally a phone game. So that like Hearthstone's advantage is just that it allows for a bit more complexity. There's more cards, more turns, more mechanics than what's in Marvel Snap. But by cutting all that fat, what Marvel Snap has done is just made that so you can do that in 6 turns. No, it doesn't go any later. You are in and out. The longest Marvel Snap matches take maybe 5 minutes tops.
Yeah, they do add like another turn if a location like adds like what was like Limbo, or just like.
I mean, there's French cases where you'll have longer games, but by and large they are much shorter games, and I think that is part of the appeal for sure.
Yeah, and it's also dependent upon like if your opponent is taking forever.
I do appreciate a sort of old school mobile game mentality of like you're gonna play this game a little bit at a time, day after day. Right. To build up your collection, you're not going to really need to whale or want to whale, unlike a lot of modern card games. So I would say that's a big point in its favor. Very pro, at least on a service level, looks very pro-consumer kind of deal. And it's easy to share things from your phone. Just take a little snapshot. Look at this. I guess it's a lot more easier to be like a social experience when you can just take a snapshot of your phone screen then and there and boom.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you can do that in Hearthstone too, but I mean it's not nearly the same.
Yeah, it's not nearly as flashy, and like once you're in it, you can kind of like understand. It's like, oh, they put that there. Like you see how the logic of like somebody's loss or somebody's win could occur because of the card placements.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, this is where 1 is, 2, 3, 4.
I think Marvel Snap simplicity is definitely one of his strengths in terms of just like being very casual friendly. You know, you don't have to like know life this game just to be competitive. You know, like
Right.
I don't think Hearthstone's really like that either. Like Hearthstone's okay. Like when it comes to your ability to get cards and packs and stuff, and especially these days, they're launching a new class in Hearthstone. It's the second ever class they've added to Hearthstone. After 9 years, you know, it's a big deal. So what they're doing is they're doing a lot of things to try and get lapsed players back. So if you haven't played after over like a year or something,
Yeah.
they give you like 150 free packs of cards to keep. I mean, that
Jesus,
you open.
that sounds like a lot.
That's enough to get you at least a couple decks. At least a couple good decks. And they have something called like a loaner program for new like lapsed returning players where they have pre-constructed decks that you can just try out, and after you play them for a week, you get to pick one to keep.
Gotcha.
Like a try before you buy. It's honestly very cool. And then they've got like some more generous offerings in the store because they're launching that Death Knight Classic. It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of curious how that'll pan out, just because when they did it the first time, the new class was really, really too strong.
Yeah, like Marvel Snap is obviously very new and just came out like a month or so ago. And you're talking about it's like, oh yeah, like Hearthstone, it's sort of like a you know, getting new people back in. Like they gave it like, you know, over like 150 cards that people can keep.
150
like,
packs,
what?
yeah.
I mean,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Is there like the equivalent of something in Marvel Snap where, all right, these cards are more disposable, or are they more, I guess you can say, you know,
some of them are filler, you know, some of them are shit.
Okay.
You're not going to find use for some of the cards. It's bound to happen, and you'll get duplicates. But they unlike Marvel Snap, they have a dust system that lets you craft cards you want to just directly get. So on RNG,
Gotcha.
you don't have to earn things on a progression system to get cards. If you have the dust to make a card you want, you can just make it.
Gotcha. What does the monetization settle in? Is it just like getting new cards, or?
I mean, yeah, that's the monetization.
Okay.
Is just buying cards, buying cosmetics, and buying season passes. That's the newest flavor.
Season passes, so you can get new cards, right?
Well, new cards, new packs, but also Battlegrounds has its own season pass with its own cosmetics and its own this, that, or the other. So. But yeah, Death Knights. People love Death Knights. So I can tell. One, people are probably gonna play just Wrath of the Lich King Classic. It's an iconic expansion in World of Warcraft history. And around the same time, you got that Lich King stuff in Hearthstone. A little synergy there.
So Hearthstone, maybe a little like a Metroid emulation. Anything else that's been on your like
A little bit of the Spelunky.
Splunk, yeah.
Yeah. I got the Tale of Two Wastelands mod that a friend of the show, Gwen, has been playing. She had linked just to the GitHub or whatever, where it's like centralized, or like the hub website. And it wasn't that difficult to get up and running. I just haven't had time to play too much. I've gotten into the Wasteland. I've gotten into Megaton, and
how is that like transition? Where like, all right, do you just have like, hey, can you take me to the Wasteland? Can you take me to Vegas?
I mean, you start
Is it
in
just
one
like
area
talking to
with
like a random NPC or like a train?
No, I mean, I haven't gotten to the point where there's that yet. I think it's just at the
Okay.
end of I think it's just you play through one and then you move to the other. I don't know if it's so easily back and forthful, you know?
Oh, I see. Okay, so you play Fallout 3 first, and then you play New Vegas because there's a set timeline change. There are some years that progress from that.
But yeah, besides that, because I've been trying to mess with that display, it's such a New Vegas is such an old ass game that it just completely messes with my monitor setups and stuff when I try to launch it. Like it's just not optimized in the slightest for modern displays. So I've been trying to mess with that a little bit. But I mean, it's an old game. It is what it is. I can't really complain that much. But other than that, I have been playing a little bit more of Pokemon Legends Arceus, just
Arceus, yeah.
because we're getting so close to Scarlet and Violet, and I never actually beat Arceus. I got pretty far into it, but I never beat it myself. But I wanted to, kind of revisit that right before the new game came out.
Yeah. So where are we at on the like, okay, which ones are the most accessible Pokemon games where it's like, oh, it's been like 10, 20 years since I played a Pokemon game, or I haven't played one in eons. You got Arceus, let's go. The new gen.
Just get the newest one. Just get Sword and just get Scarlet and Violet. Like, and it's gonna be different than some older traditional Pokemon games, but I mean, just play the new ones. It's fine. Like if you don't want to mess with like the likes of Sword and Shield or Let's Go or anything like that, you're fine. Just go with the new one, the new hotness.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'm seeing like a lot of like franchises and series. They get like slower and slower with their releases, but Pokemon somehow is still like going pretty steady. It's like, you know what? Every couple years we'll have a new generation. That's just the way it is. No matter what the developments is going on.
No, I mean, the hell or high water, they get these fucking games out. That's for sure.
Yeah, because it's taking like 8 years to get like Tekken 8s.
Yeah, some of that stuff they take for fucking.
I mean, shit. Like looking at like Ratchet and Clank, you're going from like 5 years from like different releases, and then like you look at the original on the PS2 and PS3, it was a matter of like a year or two.
Right. And like the Sly Cooper games, like 2002, 2004, 2005, there was 1 year apart between Sly 2 and Sly 3. But I mean, Pokemon's always been on that annual-ish. They had, I mean, Pokemon Arceus came out in January. It's 2022 game. It's not gonna get any Game of the Year nods, I don't think, because we got the new one coming out.
Right.
But I don't know. They're able to crank these games out pretty quickly.
Is Pokemon still doing the thing where like we're gonna try to limit the amount of like older generation stuff coming in for like balance's sake?
I mean, I don't know if it's balance or just like priority or whatever metric they use to determine it, but like, I mean, there's some old stuff that's not going to be in here. I mean, and they say that's for the Pokemon Home application that can transfer everything through to everything anyway. So
is that still going? You can still pay for it?
Yeah. It's like $1 a month or like $5 for a year or something, man. It's like super cheap. You just have cloud storage for your Pokemon, and you can, I mean, people have had Pokemon for the last 20 years that they can put on that thing. Literally, like Game Boy Advance games, you can trace the lineage. But after Pokemon, I don't know if there's anything else that's coming out for the rest of the year. I'm like super like, oh man, I need to play that.
Super jazzed about, yeah. Yeah, have you oh gosh, there's a period where it's like, all right, new year, new like Pokemon alternative. We had like Koromon, Temtem.
I'd say Koromon's probably the best one of those. I mean, it's pretty.
It seems like the most straightforward of the bunch.
Light RPG mechanics sprinkled on top of a Pokemon Club for sure. But I mean, it was also the least cringy one of those. It was also like really
cringy.
Yeah, because all the other ones just have either shitty dialogue or like, cringy dialogue.
Okay. What the fuck? Oh, okay, that's new. Forgot about that. I don't think I've like ever seen that happen before, like, in like a Ratchet and Clank game. It's like, oh yeah, this boss can just like just take all your ammo. Hey, speaking of new releases, have you seen the new Wakanda Forever?
No. Me and Hannah are probably going to see it like late next week or late this week, I guess you would say now.
Can replace you.
But we just weren't able to get around to it. Just didn't work.
Yeah, I mentioned in our chat the other day, but I just forgot like the last time we went to the theaters, and it was like way back in like April for Everything Everywhere.
Yeah, it was Dragon Ball for me, like in September. But I just haven't been going to the movies as much, man. A lot of it's able to see it at home,
Yeah, you mentioned like Anna's watching more TV, you're playing more games. A lot of that's just like, well, we've got everything here, so why bother going outside?
She watched Thor: Love and Thunder like a week ago.
Fuck, that's right. I forgot about that film. That was this year, right?
3 months ago. Like 4 months ago.
You spent this whole time looking for Quark. You don't know anything about me.
I know that you will do the right thing.
Well, right now the thing I want to do is find
Do
Quark.
the right thing.
How do you start this stupid thing?
Have you forgotten? You need a robotic ignition system. I will start the ship.
Yeah, Resh is more of a jackass in
And
this one compared to the later ones.
Showed.
Fine.
Yeah, and it makes sense in the story, and again, like it's a lot of the story is conveyed through cutscenes. If you just like watch the cutscenes, it works. It's good.
It works.
There's an actual
It
arc.
just works.
You buffoon. Did you get rid of them?
Yes. No. Well, I had this plan, and I thought.
You thought. You thought. I do the thinking around
You
here,
thought.
slug-brained idiot. I simply needed you to eliminate those two nuisances before they could cause any real trouble. But I wanted to. Do you still want to be the highly paid spokesman for my planet?
Isn't, gosh, I know Kevin Michael Richardson's been in like everything. You can find like all right, any cartoon or any TV show or like bit parts on like a video game. But like, wasn't he also in like the Metal Gear Solid series for like a boss fight?
I don't know about Metal Gear. He's been in a lot of different stuff, though. Obviously, like you mentioned. But he's also, I mean, like he's a pretty prolific voice actor in just the range that he's done too. Because he also did the Joker in that CW Batman, called, the Batman. It was like outside of the DCAU, and it was like.
Oh, it's the Rastafarian Joker, right?
I guess you could say that. I have to take another look at him before I can say that in confidence.
I guess like the one of dreadlocks, right?
Yes. All more
God,
animated,
okay.
I would say, in that kind of way.
Whatever. As soon as I find Quark, I'm selling you for scrap.
Yeah. It had oh gosh, Diedrich Bader is the voice of Batman in it, or
Not in that one. That was Batman
Okay.
Brave and the Bold, where it's Diedrich Bader, and he's also in. He's also doing it in the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of because he's a good one of those. I would say.
Right.
He's
Right.
a
Like,
Batman voice actor.
if you want a comedic take on Batman, choose him. But then, at this point, it's like, well, Gotta have to find a replacement now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that was fucking tragic.
Yeah,
And because of how Twitter is now, I had to like quadruple check. I had to find 4 different sources. I spent like 5 minutes combing through stuff first, just like I am not doing this right now. I'm not spreading misinformation on Twitter. I need to know.
Yeah, like speaking of TV, like I finally got through like all of the original run of Justice League, the animated show. Those first 2 seasons, and like I didn't expect that the God, the whole like 3-episode arc, like it to conclude the entire series, of like, Hawkeye is going to leave because her people are a bunch of fascists.
Yeah.
And they invaded a sovereign planet for their own gains. It's like, oh, well, let's see, what year is this? 2003. Okay, interesting. Oh boy. Yeah, there was literally like you're either with us or against us type line in there too. If it wasn't like obvious enough.
I mean, by the time you get to the likes of Unlimited, I think it's a bit more even-handed.
Yeah.
Like that it's an actual conflict the league themselves are having of just like who can oversee us, like who's the oversight on us, we don't want to report to the government, and Green Arrow.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, y'all making me uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, like Unlimited, like I checked this. It's like there's like hardly any like 2-part episodes or 3-part episodes because Justice League was like nothing but that. And like for most of the story, it's just like, all right, conflict, and then eventually it's like, all right, big stupid like cartoon, superhero fight. So it's like I'm kind of like noticing it's like I kind of am not into the fighting that much anymore.
It was always entertaining when you had a heavy hitter like Joker show up now.
Oh, 100%.
Just peak Mark Hamill insanity.
Yeah, like the really good episode that was in the two-parter with the oh gosh, so it was like the Joker's game, or like they had each like bit players be participating in some like reality show,
right?
Fighting against the Justice League, and like, one's super stretchy, one can be Magneto practically, and that was like really like that was genuinely like, oh, this is cool. Like the fights are not that big a deal, but like the ongoing narrative and that the whole persistent thread of just the Joker just fucking with you the entire time. So it's like, hey, this is great.
I just love the Joker when he gets to be all that, just that level of zany mischief.
Yeah.
Where he can just be a nuisance to the likes of Wonder Woman and Superman,
Oh yeah, it's just like a complete like underpowered little shit.
Not like Injustice, where it's just like, oh, he can fuck everything up. Because I'm also just kind of sick of dark Superman stories.
The Joker dies in that though.
I mean, yeah, but he also like is the one to kind of set everything in motion.
Oh, like killing Lois Lane.
Yeah. And her kid.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, and it's also, you know what, you mentioned Injustice. It's weird that I guess just Injustice 3 isn't happening because I think they're going right into Mortal Kombat for like the 30th anniversary or whatever.
Yeah, for a clip there, it was just like, all right, Mortal Kombat 9, Injustice, Mortal Kombat 10, Injustice 2, and then Mortal Kombat 11, and we're gonna get back to the Mortal Kombat well because we're not done with Mortal Kombat for some reason.
I don't know. I feel like people weren't as hot on 11 as they were in 10 or 9.
Really? Okay. Is it just like more about like the actual game aspect of it? Because it feels like.
Well, I mean, it just wasn't as novel, you know. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 9 was the return, you know, the revival, the greatest hits album, remastered.
Yeah.
And then you get the Mortal Kombat X. It's a different game, but it's also the first one on PS4 and Xbox One hardware.
Gotcha.
So it's got that kind of HD wow factor. You get to 11, that's not there. But yeah, No Injustice 3. Moving right on to Mortal Kombat 12, I guess. I didn't hate the story in 11. It's a bit stereotypical time travel, timey-wimey nonsense, you know.
Oh yeah.
Multiverse stuff and
yeah, that was definitely one where it's like I'm just gonna watch the cutscene story, and that's really it. I'm not actually gonna play it because like for one, like
Ice and Fire. Or whoever on YouTube you watch.
That's MK Ice and Fire. That's right. I thought you were referencing the upcoming sequel, like MK Ice and Fire.
No. I'm talking about the YouTuber that I always watch for NetherRealm games specifically.
Well, like I think they do like pretty much like every game that has like cutscenes or like a like here's all the cutscenes.
Gameplay channel.
Exactly.
Not just talking.
So about how far in this game do you think you are, like in terms of like a full run?
Ooh, I think by the end of this level, well, like there's like a middle section which like I'm like firmly in now because I can't complete this level until I go to one level and go to another. Like it's I honestly like call it like Metroidvania, but like all right, I need to get the key to this area. I need to get the key to this other area.
Okay.
Like I'm reached at the end of this one spot. And get to like, oh, I need the magnet boots here. Where do I get the magnet boots? Well, you need it in this other level. Where do I get this other level? Well, you need to get this helmet from going in the other area of this level.
So do you think this game, if they try to do the randomizer type shit they do for like Super Metroid or Link to the Past, like would it be undoable?
It's gonna break the game, yeah.
Okay. It'd be interesting if there'd be a way to do that, though. I always find it interesting when people do randomizers for like stuff you wouldn't expect.
No, like I had like a, dare I say, neat idea for like a Ratchet Clank modifier once that did involve weapons. Gosh, what was it? Shit. Because again, like if you play a Ratchet and Clank game, you play them all. There's not much like distinction among them. Like once you get to a point. But along the lines of you know how like some Devil May Cry games or like DMC in general, it has you like, oh well, you can only hurt these enemies with this like one ability.
This specific
ability, like you can only hurt them with the devil weapons or the angel weapons.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's more I think more of a Bayonetta thing, but I see what you're saying.
Oh, it is? Okay. Interesting.
I mean,
have not played
weapons in
Bayonetta
Devil May Cry that will probably be better against enemies than others, but in terms of strictly like Ikaruga-esque sort of ebb and flow of a color scheme, definitely more Bayonetta's bag. Although I have not played Bayonetta 3.
But yeah, like I sidebar, but I think it's getting kind of ridiculous with the amount of games with like parallel universes or multiverses.
We're reaching a fever pitch, you know. I mean, now you got Bayonetta,
like
that's
the newest Ratchet and Clank game, Rift Apart. Like, yeah, that's a multiverse game, 100%.
Technically Destiny, but I mean that's just part of what Destiny's ongoing lore. So it's not itself strictly time travel, but
yeah, that has more to do with like time travel.
But come on, Dares, just look at Dares.
Dares?
Days of Eternity is definitely like timey-wimey. Like,
okay, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I'll give it that. I don't know. It doesn't feel that big of a thing where it's just like, oh, it's just more like a throwaway thing.
You know what's oddly multiversal that hasn't been talked about in a hot minute? Pokemon. Gen 6 and Gen 7, Pokemon was all in on like the post game stories were all like multiversal spanning. It was weird. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Is this like X and Y or
X and Y Sun and Moon era? X and Y Sun and Moon mainly. But no, in Sun and Moon, somebody from Pokemon Emerald is like put into Pokemon Sun. And you know this because when you fight them, they play music from Pokemon Emerald specifically. That's your clue.
Interesting.
That's how you know this person is like a fish out of water kind of deal. I don't remember much of that coming up in Gen 8 at all. But I mean, also Pokemon Legends Arceus is all about time travel. I mean, it's going back like 400 years or whatever. It's an isekai. You know, you're sent back in time by God, by literally God.
Yeah,
just be like, hey, I want to fuck with you. Go over here. You're Job. It's a modern Job story, clearly.
Yeah. Speaking of Job, yeah, we're talking like Arrested Development or like biblical.
The biblical Job. Not Will Arnett.
Yeah, you're gonna cross me and my $400 Pokeball.
How much can a Pokeball be? $10?
So reserve your space now. Prime locations are filling up fast. Good day.
Now do you understand why we must stop him? He won't rest until he has destroyed every planet in the galaxy.
Yeah? Well, I got bigger fish to fry.
Bigger than the galaxy?
Man, you're right. Ratchet is an asshole.
Fish anyway. Look, didn't that commando guy
One
say
thing
that
that Mike showed that I cannot unsee is how like huge Ratchet's hands are.
But we will need something special to
All right, let's see. Let's take a look. Oh my God! He could crush his own head with that.
To traverse this ventilation shaft.
Mike is not wrong. He has giant fucking hands.
Do not detect any magna boots on this planet.
Stop. Setting is necessary. You have 1 minute.
But yeah, I have not played a shit ton of 2022 video games proper, I would say. Because a lot of games I play are either ongoing or older.
You can use your grind boots here. Just jump on.
Oh yeah, we just have radio.
Not the worst section, but it can get annoying.
It's reminding me of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is having a bit of a resurgence these days.
I mean, if you want to call it that, sure.
Look, a 7 out of 10 in a sea of 3s to 6s feels pretty good.
It's an ambitious failure compared to like a regular ass failure is a lot better. Yeah, I understand.
I'm just willing to let Sonic fans enjoy their time and have the dub. Just hey, you have your fun.
Yeah. Like what? Who are the Sonic fans at this point?
They're a persistent bunch, is what they are.
Because like it feels increasingly like Sonic games just keep being made and being sold, but like we don't know who these people are.
I mean, they're like Disney adults, except just like a lot less harmless because it's just a lot more niche of a fandom.
Yeah,
you could say.
Like I want to say the demo of like who's buying Sonic games. Are they?
Sonic is still like a brand I would say kids are into. Like kids, like even today's kids would probably like Sonic to some extent.
Okay.
If not for nothing else, the Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah, but I'm just talking like even before.
I'm just like the games like the
PS3, PS4 era.
Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Black Knight, yeah.
Sonic the Resistance, or whatever that one was called.
Well, that was Sonic Forces. That was only a couple years ago. But I mean, then they did. You know, they had. Nope. They had that 2D revival with Sonic Mania that people really liked. That I really liked. I thought Sonic
That
Mania
was good.
great.
Yeah. Gosh, have you played Spark the Electric Jester at all?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, because I just saw like a random video of its third game, and it's just like, oh yeah, let's do Sonic Adventure, but make it interesting. It's like,
I mean,
wow,
hey,
they're really just trying to like ape that entire like nostalgia over Sonic, but like
that's a popular
good.
trend. Is it's just like it's like make a game that's as good as you think the old one was. You know, like that's a difficult thing to do, and Nintendo does it themselves with Mario all the time. Like I think Mario Odyssey controls beautifully. I think it's a hell of a game. And just in terms of what you can do, because the extra mobility like Cappy gives you, very fun. But I actually, it's funny. I checked my Switch recently, and I guess at some point I don't know what happened, but my save file for Mario Odyssey is gone, and instead of being like sad at all, I'm just like, oh, I get to play through the game again. I get to like recollect all this stuff. I get to go back at it fresh. I'm like excited. I'm like, man, this is different.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
When I was a kid, that would be like fall to my knees, just like no. And I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna get the Wario head again.
Yeah, it does sound nice. It's like, oh, cool, like a new save. That means like, you know, like next couple of years, if I'm feeling itching for it, then it's there.
It's ready to go.
Exactly. I kind of was hoping that was going to be the case when I lost my Spider-Man PS4 save, but I got like a third of the way in the game, and it's like, yep, this feels like a modern video game.
The most 2018 ass video game I've ever played. Yeah. We got Miles Morales for free when we got the PS5, so we're just sticking with that.
Ah, shit.
I will say the mod scene for Spider-Man on PC is very impressive.
Yes, I love like beating up Wilson's Frisk as Better Call Saul.
Yeah. But they're able to kind of play with animations and stuff, like kind of like the Into the Spider-Verse suit did. So I've seen people do like Spectacular Spider-Man from the cartoon, and you know, just different aesthetic styles, and it's really cool looking.
Yeah, the comic book variants, the comic book skin that they did for the first Spider-Man 2018 game, that was pretty cool. That one like really just pops. I know like Miles Morales like was able to like, you know, just try to like replicate the oh gosh, what was it called? Into the Spider-Verse animation.
Right. It's impressive how they did that, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like Miles Morales, it's definitely on my list. It's like, I'll play it eventually, I'll get it eventually, but I don't know, if the influx of like, oh shit, influx of like so many like Game Pass games.
What an explosion! Completely just vertical. You didn't move at all. Short hop.
Yeah, these sections, if you play like Crash Bandicoot 4, which, why in God's name would you do that?
My friend was playing that. I've been watching him play it over Discord.
Like the grinding sections like this, you combine that with like the box breaking mechanic, you know, and that, like, it is complete ass. It sucks so much. Fuck this, god damn it.
And you're back on the fucking track. This is why you only play the only 3D platformer in existence, Hat in Time.
But yeah, like, speaking of, like, oh gosh, there we go. Cool.
Nice.
What are you doing?
We are on a mission to save the galaxy.
Speak for yourself and put your hands down. You look ridiculous.
Actually, I don't care who you are. I've got to get the heck out of here. I joined the army to get money to go to college. I never knew I'd end up in a war. Go figure.
This is a noble.
Damn. You can tell they wrote the script in 1999. We'll never go to war.
Give me some bolts for bus fare and it's yours. Thanks a bunch. Good luck saving the galaxy or whatever.
Oh yeah, this is the
Greetings,
Ho-
Supreme Executive Chairman.
Oh, I thought this was the Hawaiian planet.
See,
Okay,
we're
never
about to
mind.
test our newest automated pilot's helmet. This helmet allows pilots to control our latest high-tech
Keep off, Kenny.
using only their thoughts. Please enjoy the demonstration.
Or Double D from Ed, and Eddie.
We still have a
R&D at
few
Tesla.
minor adjustments.
Jesus Christ.
If you ever get the kinks worked
I've been seeing a lot more like
out, get me
like
one of those.
oh gosh,
If they are working for
closed circuit like
they may know
CCTV
where
footage of like
Is that all you can think
oh gosh,
about?
like
Dragging
Tesla
this
vehicles
like
killing
Flooding.
people more on Twitter.
If you cannot see the
It's funny how that works.
Uh huh.
Yeah? Well, if you're so smart, how come you
World's most insecure man buys the fucking world's biggest crock of verbal abuse of known to mankind.
God, and just the added fact of just like every other post he makes, so the what he's
Gets
like
fact checked
statements.
by
it gets fact checked
by Twitter's own software. And it's like, you realize how fucking stupid you are? Trolling senators who have legitimate concerns about impersonation and things like that. Like, you much legal trouble that. Dumb ass. Red wave, everybody. Red wave. That'll be the conservative grifter that is Elon sabotage is a liberal conspiracy.
Sure, let them fight. We got two more. Okay. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Don't like this section. I really like the music in these next couple levels, but don't like playing as Clank in this.
You get
Takes
discerning
forever.
with Tesla's into the wall. Orxon. Orcs off.
Yeah, because like the place is polluted so much because the Pelargians polluted their planet so much they had to leave and create their own. But anyway, you're playing as Clank because
Also,
it's
you
so
know what?
polluted.
Also like Elon Musk.
Yeah, like this section just takes forever.
Oh god. Freaky froggy.
Gadgetbots can't fly, but you can
Oh,
use
those
your
are nothing.
command to
It's,
Lemmings.
it's those like fucking crabby motherfuckers. Oh, god damn it.
That guy.
Those crabby motherfuckers. I'll show you in a minute. I need to get more of them. Yeah, they're just like right up ahead here. They have to. Oh, fuck this right. I forgot to hit follow. There you go. Yeah, like once you start playing as Ratchet in this area, like these guys are like a big motherfucker. Where's my rest of my guys?
You got a lot of lemons.
I'll get a little bit more later on.
Oh wow.
This is like the This is just the generally the longest like Clank section. But yeah, I can definitely sympathize because I like the only like 2022 game I've played this year is Tinykin, a game about genocide in the end apparently.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's literally like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids and also everyone else on the planet. yeah, other than that, it's a delightful little like 5-hour game that feels a lot more achievable to 100% than not.
Yeah.
Because you'll eventually get to the point where, oh, I collected all the pollen in the area. What's that? It's still going? Oh, this is for like the true diehards who want to see like try to like find every single thing to collect. But it does like a barrier where you get like, all right, you get 90% of the way there. Good job. Here's an upgrade you'll need. Just pats you on the head. It's like, that's enough. You don't have to keep going. There's really no need to 100% this additional objective here.
No,
it's just for psychos. All right, now I'm kind of curious. Is there like a... We've talked about like Temtem and Koromon. Is there some sort of like a spiritual successor type game that you might be like interested in that no one has really like touched in ever?
Well, I mean, I am a fan of the game World of Final Fantasy, a crossover type game. That's a Pokemon-like JRPG where you get a lot of Final Fantasy creatures and summons as basically Pokemon.
Is that tactics?
No, it's not tactic. It's more like straight up Pokemon.
Okay.
It's like a crossover game, like with all the Final Fantasy characters in them, kind of deal. Or at least like, you know, certain characters from all the games, kind of deal.
Gotcha.
Cloud and Sephiroth and Terra and Kefka and shit like that. It's a good time. That's what's coming out next after Pokemon is Theatrhythm. They're making another Theatrhythm game.
Yeah.
They're gonna have fucking 8 years worth of 14 music to play, and that's crazy. But I'm excited for that, so. This February is when everything starts coming out.
Yeah, that's when Like a Dragon Ishin comes out.
Yeah.
I think they're doing like an English dub of that as well.
I'll definitely be playing that.
Yeah, I think that might be like one to definitely play. Just for like the sole purpose of like, oh yeah, like all those like all those like characters that you recognize in 3, 4, and 5. Well, who gives a shit about them? Let's like swap them with like a Dragon 7, Yakuza 0.
Right. Characters from the games people have played.
Yeah, that like 10 times more people play. Because not many people care about that PS3 trilogy that much, unless you're like a big diehard.
Right. Most people have played 0 and then 7, and then maybe Yakuza's, Kiwami's 1 and 2.
Exactly. This is the stuff that initially was on Game Pass, and it's always on sale.
Now on PlayStation. That's it. That series is everywhere now.
Exactly. Except for Switch for some odd reason, which I feel like it might be a decent Switch game.
I don't think it'd run particularly poorly on Switch.
No, not at all.
They're not graphical powerhouses.
There we go. Why are they not going in? There we go. Come on. Jesus Christ. I'll have to make them manually enter. Do you have like a favorite Ratchet & Clank weapon at all?
I mean, I always
besides like the gimmicky meme ones, like the
PS3 generation, the kind of gimmick ones that do all the like the dance, the disco,
the Groovatron,
run, or whatever. I always found that pretty amusing, like just how kind of creative they got with weapons. You have like a personal favorite, maybe of this gen?
Do I? So they introduced like a new like a weapon in the second one where it's essentially just like, oh, this is just like a spinning disc that it just goes everywhere, and you can upgrade it enough to where you're like shooting out 2, yeah, and you just keep firing it, and it's just gonna keep going on and on and on.
Was there a whip
really
in
fun
Arsenal? I feel like there's a whip.
Yeah, that was one that carried over from up your arsenal from going commando. Oh yeah. Shit. You follow me? Where are you at? Fuck. Can you come down here? I lost one of the dudes.
Not the
all
dude.
the way back. There we go. Can't be all the way back there. Yep. Ugh. It's just one. There we go.
When's Resident Evil 2 coming out? Isn't that February?
Resident Evil 2?
Resident Evil 4.
4? Oh, okay. That's a good question. I'm just gonna assume it's the onslaught that it is February. There we go.
March. Okay, March 24th, 2023. That's gonna be a hell of a game.
February, March, like that the last grasp of the financial year.
I just hope Mercenaries mode has fucking.
Is that the score attack mode?
The horde mode equivalent.
Ah, okay. Have they provided much gameplay on like how it plays much recently, besides some trailers? Okay.
I mean, they've had the trailers, but I mean, they showcase kind of how the drinking moment to moment game. So,
gotcha.
I don't know about this. He's been training a lot longer.
These Madden boots are a device designed for climbing special metal surfaces. However, your feet appear to be too small to equip them.
Trying to think of. I know when. Okay, when is Tears of the Kingdom come out?
Tears of the. Oh, the Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yeah, that comes out in May. Okay. A little more space.
Jesus. It felt like it's going to be like I don't know, holiday next year type game, but like no. Nintendo doesn't do that at all.
I mean, they did with Smash Brothers. Kind of Mario.
It's just like more of a rarity.
Yeah. Yeah, wrong.
Because I remember like Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one, like came out like a week before, or
Breath of the Wild, yeah.
a week before Breath of the Wild, which was like March.
Dude, Horizon is getting so much everything everywhere, man. There's like multiple, or not multiple. There's like the show happening and like a remake of the first game. And I'm like, bro, it's a 4-year-old game. What are we doing here? 5-year-old game, like.
That's just too much at that point.
I don't know, man. So like, Sony's very high in their own supplies when it comes to their fucking first-party games. I feel like, man, like. They're good games and all, but Jesus Christ. There's
Well-
more than God of War and Horizon.
I mean, that's the other thing too. It's like they need like the huge tentpole box office smash type games like that, so they can like lean in all the way on, because they don't
Well,
they
yeah.
don't spread the wealth at all with that.
They don't have
So,
any
right.
other strategy than just the games, whereas Microsoft can leverage something like a service like Game Pass.
Yeah,
Doesn't
just like
matter, they don't make any games.
relying heavily on the model of like, all right, if we just give this studio a fuck ton of money, they're gonna make something that's at least like competent.
But hey, we got Halo Infinite Forge beta. Come on now.
Have you explored much
do it.
of that at all, or no?
I have not yet. I plan on it, but not now. Not so far.
Oh, hold on here. Hold on, Curtis. I gotta add you in. Someone else coming in late.
Like right before the end? The post-credits thing are great. We love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Call me Black
There you
Panther.
go. Great. There's already a white version of Black Panther. It was like a White Tiger or White Wolf. White Wolf. There you go.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me. You could have made that up. I would have known. Yes, White Wolf, Black Panther. Makes sense.
There we go. Yep.
Pink Panther is in the other room.
All right, so I'm doing this through my phone. I can't. I need to be on like Discord to see the rest of like the actual video, right?
The game.
The game
yeah.
plan. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm still capturing your audio through the video. Oh shit! Hold on, I got it.
Alright, cool.
Figure out this.
Like, does this sound okay? Because I don't know.
You sound fine.
Oh, you sound fine.
All right, I just
Dylan has like Hannah screaming in the background sometimes, so it's just like it is what it is.
It's what it's.
Yeah, just make sure you mute yourself in Discord. There you go. Yeah. You came out at the right time. It's the most riveting parts.
Well, that's so. I mean, yeah. Check the screen name, yeah.
He's playing Pikmin.
Oh God, I hate that series. I hate any micromanagement series. It's the worst.
You don't like SimCity or anything like that?
SimCity's a little different because you're not controlling like people necessarily. You're just building. I like.
That's more, I guess, macro management
Yeah.
than micromanagement.
And I do like playing Sims, but only just to be like a total home wrecker.
Pretty much, just the
just be a complete bastard. Okay.
Yeah. I'd never do it in real life, but I'm happy to do it.
Happy to fuck around in The Sims.
You get out all your impulses. I get it.
Exactly. Yeah, I just invite
Trap
someone
somebody
over,
in
make
the
them fall in love with
pool,
me,
take
and
away
invite
the
their partner
ladders. You know, just get out all those tendencies.
Yeah.
They modded that out, I think. Yeah, right?
What, the ability to drown somebody?
Yeah. They just teleport out of there.
Sure, I'm sure. I could see that happening.
But I'm sure someone else modded it back in.
How about that too? They got to pay extra for the suicide booth.
Man, these are my least favorite levels of this series. I did not. It was just so slow.
Rob was telling me
It
it's
takes
the same.
forever. But it is thankfully not the entire game here.
So what have I missed? Any not to retread any conversations, but is there anything that?
Oh, we've been running the gamut. Yeah, we've been talking about how we don't play modern video games anymore.
We're fucking old. End of story. You know.
What happens is when you get old, you pick one service game that you're a slave to for a certain chunk of time, and then you have approximately like 10% left of your gaming time is something novel like this.
Yeah, I'm in the process of trying to finish out like 2 4-hour games in like a matter of like 2 months. So it's going great.
So no God of War talk. Gotcha.
Nothing. I have not played that yet. No.
I'm not looking to spend $70 on a brand new video game. You know, I think that part of my life is kind of like, you know, come and gone. I'll make a special exception to a few, but
I played the original through Redbox when it first came out. Back
Same.
when Redbox did the games.
I don't know how you can do that, because like those games are so like long and dense. Like even if you like
play
set
them
like
for
an
like
entire
8
weekend.
hours. I played it for like 8 hours a day on a weekend.
Yeah,
Jeez,
you
that's
can get
honestly
through
what
the
happened.
story beats pretty quick as long as you don't do all the side missions.
How do you not get like exhausted by it? Or it's like, oh,
Because the financial burden of an additional $3 to $6 is enough to have me be like, fuck it, I'm gonna beat this game tonight.
Yeah.
Or at least it was
I
back
see.
then. 2018, I had to be a lot more chintzy with my financial choices.
a literal sunk cost
It
fallacy.
still blows
Great.
my mind that digital costs the same as physical. Like that, it should be an automatic
It should be
$10
like
reduction.
$10 or $20
Yeah.
difference. Like with
There's no reason
the
for
lack
it to
of
be that expensive.
shipping plastics or anything. You're leveraging the data download for the customer to download it anyway.
It's gonna break the market. It's gonna like heavily favor not the retail market, but
fuck them.
That's the only argument against it. But like, it's not pro consumer at all.
It wasn't like.
No, go ahead. Did you ever play the Clank PSP game? Either of you? Not a fan. Okay.
I think it's the worst. The worst Clank game.
Is it just like a whole game of this?
I'm trying to remember what it was, but like it was just kind of like, I don't know, like if you take the Ratchet out of Ratchet and Clank, it just doesn't really work that well.
Sounds like Daxter.
Oh man, I forgot. He had a spinoff too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, hey, every platform needs a launch 3D platform, you know?
They need some sort of like side story they can throw in a mobile game, like where's my Bentley game,
Yeah. You need a spin-off game of the least
Bentley and
popular
Murray.
character.
I mean, deadass, I would play like a Carmelita Fox procedural. I mean, it'd be problematic these days, but you're allowed to have a problematic fave. Carmelita Fox is, I don't know, an ACAB spinoff.
I mean, to be honest, I definitely bought a PSP, but I think outside of maybe the God of War game, there really wasn't much that I remember from that, and I never really got into the Vita because I was like a broke kid when that came out, and I've just never gone back to it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the Vita is like a really cool emulator. Like if you can find one, you can do a lot of really cool things with it.
No, for sure on that front. I really liked it at the time, the Vita, just because it was like my first job in college, where I just had I had way too much disposable income for like where I thought making $7 an hour was fine because I'm like, this is what I do after school.
You look at parents, you've got like older expenses besides, I don't know, feeding yourself occasionally.
It was an illusion of expectations of like the job of working at it for the rest of your life, essentially.
I could spend $250 on a Vita and a 3DS in 1 year.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm gonna get this PlayStation All Stars bundle.
Oh God! No, you get that on PS Plus. That's how you get it.
Oh,
I got the white Vita actually.
What was did that Nicktoons game? Like, what was it called?
Nickelodeon All Star Brawl.
Yeah. I feel like that just like it's one of those games that it's just
like multiverses.
The game industry now is just a game comes out, it's big for a week, maybe 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky, like Elden Ring. You may last into the year, but it's just like a game exists for a 2 to 3 week period,
and then you are out of the conversation.
Yeah, and then no one talks about it until it's like game of the year time, and then it's I just like that game came and went, and no one talks about it. Multiverses is the same thing. Like, I don't know.
I'll be honest. I tried Multiverses. I just couldn't get into it in terms of like a gameplay thing. It was too simple and too floaty. Like I know people would kind of joke on Nick All Stars Brawl for its movement kind of being more of like a more erratic kind of Smash Brothers Melee kind of game, but it was still really fun. Like I had a lot of fun with that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, come on.
And then ultimately, obviously, that's what it means. If you're having fun with it, that's great. But it seems like games just are, I don't know, just a come and go series now in the industry. Like, there's just not something that really resonates. I don't know, maybe Maybe I'm just not paying that much attention anymore.
But I mean, that's kind of where we fall in, like somebody like me and Rob, where we kind of hitch our wagon to a service game that is going to be supported for X amount of time. So like when the schedules and stars kind of align for somebody like me and Rob and Mike and Gwen, and I mean now even TL to play something like Destiny, that's why we play those games as part of the social aspect. So
I wish I could.
You just gotta find your one.
I've tried. They're just stressful to me. Of like, I don't know. Like a lot of it is like gear collecting, and I don't get out into that. And so like half the aspect is gone.
That's Destiny.
Like the community aspect sounds awesome. I just like if I'm not playing the game itself, I'm just like, I'm good. But I'm glad people enjoy it. That game, Destiny, is going to be a decade old if it's not already.
Yeah, next year.
It's getting close to that. Yeah.
Kudos.
And then they're making a Tarkov clone for their Marathon, which from what I understand, I think Brennan Soul left his body when he heard that one.
That's a real beauty.
Come lay down, buddy, okay? Paul, come lay down. Hey, you got a gun. A new gun.
Yay!
How's the no ammo buying thing going? You still keeping that strong?
I'm still keeping that strong. Like I haven't faced like too much resistance so far. I got through the obstacle course and Cork Slayer.
Lay down, okay?
It wasn't as bad as I thought. But I've been trying to be smart with it. Like a lot of like areas that don't require a lot of ammo to be spent.
Yeah, mostly like bosses are probably where you spend the most ammo.
Yeah, and like that's usually pretty deep in terms of boxes full of ammo.
Oh, I love that you put the slow motion filter on.
I know that's totally deliberate and not at all an issue that I still need to figure out anytime like there's a bunch of shit going
PS2 had
on.
a performance mode back in the day. You didn't know? It's like me and my quest to try and capture Metroid Prime footage. It's like I have a Wii U, and that has HDMI out, so I can put a Wii game in there and actually capture it. Like,
yeah, you were mentioning you're like, oh, I got the wrong USB-C cord.
yes. Look, very specific cables and stuff for those types of electronics. Turned out, but
God, that's something kind of like afraid of with like some PC stuff where like eventually like some of these cords are gonna go out.
Yeah, at least it wasn't
kind of like shit out of luck.
I'm just lucky it wasn't a big kind of expense. So it was just something like,
it was like $10.
Yeah.
I do want to note that like this level in the remake, pretty good. They really expanded on the shit. They made it. They turned it into like go around and like beat enemies and get a bunch of these collectibles from those enemies. Just expanded out the area a lot more.
Sure.
Because like you probably noticed in some of the other like Ratchet & Clank games, like there's like always like some like side section in a level where it's like, oh, this is nothing but like, go around, explore an area, and collect a bunch of crystals or gemstones or whatever to get some sort of objective.
Yeah, like to pad out the game a little bit.
Yeah, it does, but also it's like, oh, some added challenge to it, which is nice.
Yeah, kind of like some of the Mario games do that. But they're not like the extra stars and then like red coin challenges and things like that. Man, they have not announced a new Mario game, right? It's been 5 years since Odyssey.
I know, what's wrong with Nintendo? We should fire Bowser.
Oh, that's right. No, there was Bowser's Fury, but that was kind of like an expansion.
That was like half a sequel or like half a new game.
Part of a concept, kind of deal. Like, what if we kind of took the Mario Odyssey elements into this kind of game? Like, if they want to do for the next full-fledged Mario,
I'd love to play it. but I don't want to pay full price, and I assume it's probably still like $40-$50. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's Nintendo.
Or 3D World and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, you guys say you don't play new games, but I assume Dylan, Pokemon next week? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes, that is the exception.
I was just talking about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely grabbing Pokemon next week for sure.
Are you doing both? You doing Scarlet, Violet?
We are doing both just because I have an old Switch and my wife wants to play, and I want us to both be able to play. And there's multiplayer in the game, so I think now is as good a time as ever to kind of go down that option.
Does it note like the big difference beyond like, oh, there's a different legendary you can get in this one?
Not really. I mean, those are like there's different professors.
Yeah.
There's different Pokemon you can get, like different.
There are version exclusives, but like I haven't looked too much into it because I'm trying to like avoid, spoilers or whatever.
Yeah, I'll try and keep tight-lipped on it because
I think
know
there's only like
spoilers.
6 different.
No, there's a lot, dude.
Spoilers to a Pokemon game. What? Like in Professor Oak? I don't know. Like, he dies.
No, I couldn't care about the story. It's more just like I don't necessarily want to know what they look like. I kind of want to see them evolve and see what their new forms look like.
Oh, I see.
Like the starters or some of the new Pokemon, which I will say, I mean, I'll keep it vague. Like, I think they should have cut the trailers differently. There's a lot of cool stuff in these leaks that I think would have been really cool to showcase, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if they're leaning into co-op stuff, I mean that's going to be a big deal, and it's pretty pervasive throughout the whole course of the game, is my understanding. So
it's sounding cool. I mean, it sounds like a new Pokemon game, which mileage may vary, but
it does vary. Yeah.
I mean, depending on who you ask, I feel like they haven't really missed too many times. Like, I guess like vanilla Sword and Shield maybe, but I enjoyed the max rate battles and all that shit so much.
I think their missteps have been the remakes, the Hey, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and then the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Like,
yeah,
they just felt like unnecessary, but
they were literally outsourced. So
yeah,
it seems to be like it's like, well, we have to do this because we've been remaking the other ones in the previous generation.
Well, we have to have
next
an release every year because it's the industry.
We got merchandise to follow. We got trading card games and anime. We got a machine. We are one part of the giant Pokemon machine. So
yeah.
I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, Arceus was this year.
That's true. Really
that's like why there was a little bit of a weird vibe at first for Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, well, they couldn't possibly have taken a lot of what they've learned from Arceus and applied it to the game because they're fucking 10 months apart.
No, I'm seeing all the people doing like the Game of the Year stuff. Like, they're gonna be Elden Ring and God of War. Like, even like the joke like Stray, and I'm like, didn't Arceus come out? I guess like no one remembers, or maybe no one thought that's like a Game of the Year.
It was released in what like January or February.
Yeah, I mean, right before Elden Ring took over, I'd say.
Yeah. But then like a Horizon, we also got a new Horizon, which I think Mike and I talked about that last time. But
yeah, I don't think that's getting any. I think Sony gets one prestige push this year, and it's God of War.
Oh, I'd argue God of War is a more fun game to me than Horizon, but I mean, still, like it just seems like a big AAA title, not even being discussed for Game of the Year is funny to me. But,
yeah, the other thing about like Horizon is like again, it got bumped up by competition, and this time it was like God of War, like less than a month from each other.
Don't worry, they got the VR game coming next year, and then they got the Breath of the Wild. Cool.
Yeah, right. You just gotta pay like what, $550 for a brand new VR set, and you can't play your old library, so you have to rebuy them again. Fantastic! Fuck off, Sony. Get out of here.
Yeah, I thought about getting a PS5, and it's like, I'm gonna upgrade my PC. It's better than there.
That's the better long-term solution.
Aside from the exclusives, which seemingly in 2 years they'll be on PC anyway. If you don't mind waiting, just save your $600 and wait. Which is, I mean, that's how it should go anyway. I'm all for that model, but it's like exclusive just don't seem appealing to me anymore. And I'm the dumbass who did buy a PS5, so You know,
Hey, you two are the first friendly
I'm throwing stones in my glass house.
You
But,
are friendly.
I mean, there's still for me at the time the PS4 I had was falling apart, so I pretty much needed a new PS4 anyway.
yeah.
So having the digital one that I got was definitely a pretty sound investment, just because we also have like the mid-tier PS Plus, so we have a lot of variety of things where we can actually play on it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and the the PlayStation Pro, PS4 Pro, I feel like that's a good like half measure that like that does like keep you from like committing to the next generation like I am right now. It's like, oh, it's still on the PS4. Yeah, I'll stick with the Pro version because like it can run it, which is what matters right now. I don't need the bells and whistles.
No.
Like the dual sense or
We'll
whatever it's called.
We'll probably get a new PS5 model either by this time next year or at least announced to be coming in 2024. Just seemingly based off the trends.
And like speaking of like new consoles, it's like, isn't there supposed to be like Nintendo's supposed to be like releasing a new console here in the next like 2 years maybe?
I mean, if they find a reason to.
Yeah.
Well, Nintendo doesn't give a shit at all. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna release a new console. I don't care what you think about it.
The Switch is still kind of like up, and with a new mainline Pokemon this year, I don't see that slowing down this year.
No. And then but I think they need something. So they've got obviously what's it called? It's not Breath of the Wild.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, Tears or Tears?
Tears.
I don't know.
Tears.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's Tears, but
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they've explicitly said what it is or not. But if that's 2023, I assume we'll get a new Mario announcement in that time. But I don't know what else Nintendo would have for next year.
Right.
Metroid Prime 4, maybe? Never? Sorry. I mean, that's been teased for 8 years now, and still nothing.
Hard to know what that game potentially even is. I have no idea.
Now, is that strictly like it has to come on a Nintendo? Like, there's no way the developer could be like, you guys are like wasting our time. We want to get this out, and like it can't go anywhere else. Like, it's
I don't think there's any option for anywhere else. No.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Could also be the type of thing where like Nintendo just like kind of has it, and they're just like sitting on it.
Yeah. Buddy.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
no.
Okay. Oh, this is ass. All right.
This is embarrassing.
It is, yeah.
If you had sacrificed your form, you must support us.
So, like these guys, you can't kill with like one hit with the wrench.
Oh, really? That's a shame.
But yeah, we're coming up on, actually, we were talking about Metroid Prime. That game turns 20 years old, I believe, on like Friday.
Oh, wow. I've never really played those games.
They're fun.
I've played like demos and stuff, but like never sat down and really played them. But
yeah,
their
same.
reputation, so, kudos to
They're a fun time. I mean, I get good exploration type games. Like, I didn't really play a lot of shooters before that game specifically, so got that going for me.
Yeah, and the added thing too is like Nintendo never really made it at all like accessible beyond like GameCube and maybe if you bought it on the Wii, but like it's a
or Wii U, Wii U shop.
Yeah.
You know, that classic Wii U shop that everybody.
Yeah, so those games are pretty much locked to
I
dead consoles
mean,
now.
that's why people do things like Prime Pack and whatnot, you know, like just find ways to preserve it in whatever way, shape, or form it can be. I don't think Nintendo's gonna fucking do anything about it.
Are they invincible while they're in the water?
No. It's just like my gadgets don't work in the water, which is great.
Are you supposed to go through the water? Are you supposed to jump around?
Ideally, yeah. I just don't want to deal with these fuckers. Just need to learn how to aim.
You guys watching any like new movies or TVs or anything lately?
Not especially. I mean, we were talking a little bit about like what we've been
Yeah.
watching. A lot of it's kind of in the periphery for me, just because Hannah, my wife, typically is the one who watches stuff or watches TV.
There's nothing much of interest beyond like what we stated last time. I got through Justice League, the original run of it, just because of like I've always had an interest, but like never actually like watched all of it before. Like it's mostly good and fine. I just like I don't know if like I'm just like tired of like that style of like superhero media where it's like it does something interesting and then eventually just devolves into like a fourth of it is just like, all right, superhero fighting. It's like that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's in my queue. Like I remember sort of watching it when I was a little bit younger.
Right.
I was like, yeah, and then I kind of aged out of it a little bit, if that makes sense, because but like. I do want to go back and watch it. I remember it sort of treated it as a more like mature idea than like the 90s X-Men and the 90s Spider-Man, which I would argue, oh my god, what a really shitty checkpoint. That do not hold up. Like those shows are not fun to watch.
No, you watch them only for like the screen caps and the GIF possibilities.
Yeah,
because like that 90s Spider-Man show, that's where you got like the Venom running a car and just like honking.
Yeah, and then the infamous Shocker, Peter Parker yelling "Shocker, I'm gonna kill you" or whatever. Like, yeah, you don't. That's like it's meme material. It's not really like quality material. Not to rain on someone's childhood, but they don't hold up.
I grew up watching those and like I enjoyed them. They were fine and somewhat good, but I'm sure if you watch it now, it's just like,
Like Power Rangers, like you always know the good guys are gonna win, so like there's no real threat. So, like,
Power Rangers was
week
never,
to week.
Yeah. Nah. Not a fan. I grew up like really liking it, and then I hit like 6 years old, and I stopped liking it.
Yeah. That's a good age to stop liking Power Rangers.
Right about age of 6, and I said I was fucking done with that.
I was the key demographic, and I said no, thank you.
Said no, thank you, sir. I'm watching The Simpsons.
Actually, though, that was the start of when the box sets for The Simpsons were coming out too. Which was
I
like
said what I
prime,
said.
like it was like prime. Watching in the back of the car as we like drive to Chicago. Material.
Okay, so if that thing can just operate on its own, why is that guy needed? Why is he there?
Video games, man.
He's just standing there. They help. Why doesn't he help?
He's in the union. You can't fire him.
He's union.
It's anti-union propaganda.
Shit, this ain't good. I think I can suck them. Yes. Well, yes.
Oh yeah. No, we say pause.
There we go.
Yay. Are you gonna get past where you got? Why don't you suck him again? I think I was doing really well.
I'm storing that ammo once I need it.
Oh,
So I'm gonna need it on that big boat over there.
Okay,
But I suppose I can use it right now.
Oh, we got nothing else to suck.
You just gotta make sure you have the stamina later.
Alright, prove your worth, man.
Come on. There we go. Oh wow, this is so much easier. Alright, well, that's it. It's like no one. There you go. Beautiful.
As you can see, JoJo's
Good job.
Sensei's.
God, I just know, like, all right, this is the start of, like, no, what, you can't kill them in one hit with the wrench? Oh, no. Shit.
Alright, are we in the group that watches other things while, like, playing video games? Or am I alone in that? No, I know I'm not. I feel like
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely... it depends. It depends on the type of game, I think. Like, if it's something that's very, like, narrative-driven, I probably will pay more attention to the game. But if it's something I've probably played 1,000 times, or I'm just sort of doing, like, the extra stuff, I will absolutely put something on in the background and just, like, listen to it.
That's the number of screens I have in front of me at a given time is probably just to a point of just like, man, I should probably see a doctor, huh? There's some kind of correlation here.
Yeah, this is too much.
But I do generally have, like, if it's a game like a card game like Hearthstone, I would probably just have like a Twitch stream or something in the background or a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then I might either, because see, now I've rubber banded back to being on Twitter more than I have in the last like 8 months. Like,
I wonder why.
You gotta watch the show.
I love a good trash fire, but but having that on, like, it's because I have 3 monitors, and then I also have a tablet, and then I also have the Nintendo Switch. If I'm playing on
Good
arcade.
Lord, man! I thought I had it bad.
No, I'm like in the Matrix or some shit. Like, wired in. Which I was working on ultra wide displays for Destiny specifically, and it works really well in Destiny. It's actually optimized very, very well in Destiny.
What's the appeal of the ultra wide monitors? I don't fully understand.
More, I'd say, quote unquote immersion. You can kind of see more of the screen.
It big.
And it actually is more of the screen. That's why not a lot of games offer out of the box or anything.
I feel like I just recently, like, they did the Miles Morales thing on PC, and like one of the big, like, launching things was like ultra wide support, and I was like, okay.
It's just like more immersive. Like, if you're in the average, like, desk sitting position for an ultra wide monitor, you know, like your entire horizontal view is the game. Right, yeah. So it's a bit more like an engagement kind of feel.
Okay. And it's mostly PC. Like most consoles are not adopting that idea yet.
Not really.
Not that we're aware of. No. I have a curved monitor and I really like it, so I'm realizing. But an ultra wide, that's a whole separate thing. Because like, what is, like, how wide is it generally?
I mean, it's the display resolution of 3 monitors put together. So it's like it's like 5780 by 1080 or something, you know.
Oh, that's what you mean by, like, you don't have like an actual, like, ultra wide monitor. You're just linking up 3 monitors. You have like
3 monitors, and they're the same monitor, so they mesh pretty well. In terms of like a one screen, like lighting and everything is the same. So that's a big deal. But the thing is, not a lot of games support it, like, out of the gate. Like, trying to tinker with it can be kind of cumbersome, just because not a lot of games for me with that in mind, you know.
Yeah, and then also, like, so like recognize it at least, and then not just,
or if you're something like
720 and
like Overwatch won't allow it just because I think they don't want you to have that competitive advantage. So I don't know.
I suppose it just seems silly.
When's Street Fighter coming out? That people want to say February because every other Street Fighter comes out in February, but
yeah, it feels like it's going
to make an announcement soon.
No, I don't think it is. I think Resident Evil is going to be their big Q1 game or whatever.
Okay.
So they'll have Street Fighter maybe in the spring, hopefully. That game has so much potential if they stick the landing, man.
It seems like a pretty good like entry point for, I know this is a bad word, it seems like a pretty good, like, casual entry point for people. Like,
There's
like it's
enough
not
like
as-
bells and whistles to it that makes it like an enjoyable experience beyond like the fighting game aspects. So it's like
You've got your Mortal
it's so
Kombat
pretty
crypt,
and the
you've
open areas.
Yeah, you've got the Destiny Tower, you've got the Mortal Kombat crypt, you've got like a weird created character.
Yeah. Emphasis on weird.
very weird character creator. Like there's a lot there more than just fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it seems I'm not a competitor. I don't know what kind of gamer I am anymore because I'm not a fire game person. I'm not the seasonal game person of, play Destiny every quarter and every season.
Yeah.
I'm not the Fortnite kid. Like I just like, I guess, just AAA games, and that's all I need, and I'm happy. I wish I was more niche, but I'm a basic B. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, you don't have that. I mean, not everybody has the time to kind of keep up with contemporary games culture. I mean, like you were saying
100%.
earlier, like you got to pick your battles because you're going to have this game be in the zeitgeist for a week and a half to 2 weeks and then poof out of existence.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of just don't even bother with a lot of that stuff sometimes.
Well, I guess that should do it.
I really like the Top Gun remake. You did a good job, Robert.
It's about time.
The O2 mask.
He'll be your wingman anytime.
Yeah, is it Resident Evil 4 is their big first quarter game?
Yeah, coming out in March. I looked it up just before you got here. Very excited for that game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes because I feel like the 2 remake was like well received, and then 3 came out that seemed pretty lukewarm.
Yeah,
and then
just
4
cut
seems like it's got some hype behind it.
Like 3, I think a lot of 3's complaints came down to length and like some of the cut content like from the original game. That 2 didn't really have that problem. 2 more expanded.
Like the thing like with like 3 is like the remake of 3 is like, well, Resident Evil 2 did the unique gimmick of 3 but better. So it kind of made it redundant. It's like, well, we kind of don't need 3 anymore.
And Nemesis isn't even as good as Mr. X in that game. I would say Nemesis. Because Nemesis in the remake transforms all the time, so he's barely even the hulking Frankenstein.
Well, then it's also like it was fairly scripted to a certain extent.
So like
you didn't realize it was scripted in the original that much, unless you actually like had a keener eye for it.
It was still a fun time watching my buddy play through it. It was like it reminds Resident Evil 3 remake just reminds me of the beginning of the pandemic, where everybody's not working, everybody's on Discord just streaming games all the time. And look where we are now.
Not much has changed in 4 years.
It's 2 years. God, I'm not that old.
Yeah. No, it was 20. Yeah, you're on shit. Never mind. My math was hard.
I was about to age like the fucking Saving Private Ryan gif. No, it wasn't 4 years. It can't be.
Man, what was the last Doom? Doom Eternal was 2019? 2020?
Doom Eternal was 2020.
Yeah, 2020, because it was right alongside of Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Like March. I feel like that was a very early pandemic game too, right?
It sure was. They had to get that game out the door, and by any means necessary, according to some people.
Yikes! Not to make it too topical. But, I mean, that's a solid. I like that. I like those new Doom games.
Oh yeah, they're good fun.
They're super like just pick up and go kind of games.
Yeah, Mick Gordon can do good work if he has the time.
If you pay him for his work and give him time to do it.
Jesus. I only heard like three like separate but very similar versions of just like, oh yeah, like the developers just, or like one dude just wanted to like stick it to Mick Gordon for some weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Reason.
When you get that high in a corporate setting, I think ego just drives a majority of what you do in your day to day. So I'm sure it was strictly personal. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be honest, just after the whole like Bayonetta voice actress thing, like I'm all for hearing everything out, but at the same time I was like,
I understand the apprehension, absolutely. Yeah. And I think Mick Gordon did too, otherwise he wouldn't have come forward the way he did, because he has a shit ton of receipts, very comprehensive.
Yeah.
I'm sure he used that. He saw that and was like, boy, thank God I didn't pull the trigger.
Don't
Let's
do
make
what
sure.
you did.
Let's make sure these T's are crossed and I's are dotted.
Speaking of Bayonetta, no one here has played those.
Nope. No one I know has really played it.
I played one 2022 game so far this year.
Oh. Please share.
Tinykin. It's a quasi. It's much more of a platformer than like a Pikmin game. I have not played a Pikmin game either. I think that's a little more complicated than this, but it's more of a far more of a platformer. But you have like little minions that is like, oh, you need to pick up this item, but you need like 6 of the pink dudes, and like, oh, you need to explode this box. Like, well, you need you need a red dude. It's like, well, you have to go out and find red dudes. Fuck off, die. Jesus Christ, asshole.
Yeah.
Jesus, there we go. 3 bombs. No, but definitely recommend Tinykin. It's short. It's on Game Pass if you're into that.
Hell yeah.
Crazy. There you go. Anything you can look forward to this week, Curtis?
No. Is there something? I think.
I have no idea. I don't know if there was like some movie or TV show or like book or telenovela.
We're getting the end of the year doldrums.
I do love some telenovela. No, just kidding.
Which kind? The ones made in Turkey? Because that's my grandmother's favorites. I'm not joking. She's weirdly into like Spanish dubs of Turkish telenovelas.
That is interesting. Well, I guess you would argue wrestling is kind of a telenovela, but
yeah, and anime in some cases.
Anime is kind of.
Oh, we haven't talked about. We haven't talked about Chainsaw Man like at all.
Oh, I can talk about Chainsaw Man. Like, doesn't talk about Rover just killing himself in the game.
Yeah. Just like Chainsaw Man just threw himself in there.
True to life, yeah.
All right, you want to start us off about Chainsaw Man?
I have not seen anything of Chainsaw Man, but go ahead. Apparently, it's good.
It's a captivating read. I think it's got a very contemporary, sort of brisk pace to it that doesn't linger too long, but also knows how to balance the very serious with the whimsical, like, and kind of innocent. And like, it's a whole story about a kid who's basically being conscripted and groomed into this, like, devil hunting program, and he's just trying to carve his own path, but he doesn't understand. He doesn't have any context for what's good or anything, so people are just able to kind of take advantage of him. And it's how he gets. That's what the story's about. It's him getting through that. So we're getting in the anime. We're still in kind of the establishing episodes or the first arc and stuff. You're getting introduced to some of the main crew and whatnot. Yeah. But it's been pretty compelling. I will say, like, it's not as action heavy, I think, as people were kind of expecting. Which is, I think.
No, I think I'm trying to remember. I'm thinking this part of the story is where it sort of like slows down a bit, and it's more like character development over crazy action scenes, which is totally fine. You need those moments every now and again. But I do think it's going to be one of those shows that will stick the landing, but I think a lot of people will think ultimately like it's maybe not the best adaptation, and maybe like some people would say like it's a little overhyped, which again, that's
I think that's fair, just because the level of hype it got was like out of this world for and I wouldn't say for no reason. Like, it's not to discredit the work or anything like that, but like it had so much momentum behind it without any corporate meddling or advertising. Like, it just had this sort of organic. And it got everywhere. Like the manga, in terms of it got more people reading manga than including myself in some ways.
Oh yeah, no, I do think it was definitely like what's the word? Like an entry. An interesting entry series, but like a series that got a lot of people into manga who wouldn't ordinarily read it. I don't know if that's necessarily a good place to start, because it is like unapologetically brutal and gnarly, but it does have some good like themes and ideas in it that I could see being like well received and sort of studied.
For sure.
Yeah. And I mean, Studio Mappa, God forbid their studio is probably already overworked as is.
Shit. Fuck.
It's they're doing a great job, I think, with the adaptation too.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
And the manga's still ongoing, and it's like going in an interesting direction in its own way. Like,
yeah,
with like a new kind of main character of the volume of the arc.
Yeah. I mean, the main character of the first part has only showed up like once or twice, and
right.
I'm starting to think it's not even the same person. Like it just seems like they're acting like totally different.
Like it could be some kind of like duplicate devil or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
You try. Oh God.
I love all the conspiracy theories people have in Chainsaw Man, like how Kobani is like the war devil or something, or like the luck devil, just because like she outwardly is just expressed like, man, I want to die, and she won't die. She's in these like life-altering moments and situations and comes out unscathed.
I'm sorry, but it sounds like a bunch of gibberish. Or it was like, I thought it was just like some dude with a chainsaw head.
I mean, it is that too. Don't get me wrong.
It is kind of that.
Make your jumps. Make your jumps.
I can't.
Yeah.
No, there's no skill-based matchmaking here. You gotta make your shots. Make your shots. But no, I would recommend Chainsaw Man to somebody who hasn't ever read like a manga before. Like it's a very bingeable. I hate to say that phrase, but it's like very consumable, all at once. It would just take you a few hours to read.
Oh yeah, you can get through it in a weekend, if not a day.
Yeah. Oh, it's that short?
Yeah, it's only like 199 chapters. Like it's pretty brief. But the creator is kind of, I won't say he's infamous because he's only done a few series, but like he doesn't like to overstay his welcome for the most part.
Okay.
Like he kind of does like stories that don't need to be 300 plus chapters or anything like that, which I'm all for, because I feel like 250 is the magic number to make a really good manga, and if you go beyond that, it just kind of gets a little drawn out. Sometimes you can.
Sometimes you're One Piece.
Sometimes you're one, and even then, that series could be a lot shorter if Oda knew how to not do so much fucking world building. But I think I'm alone in that. So
chapters are essentially the equivalent of like issues, right?
In comics.
Yeah, like 20 pages ish.
Yeah.
16 to 20, yeah.
And then, if you do like monthly series, are about 30 to 40. But
I was gonna say it can vary if it's a monthly or weekly series, because like the Dragon Ball Super manga that it cram a lot, like 40 shonens.
Yeah.
Some of them. I mean, some of them are monthly, some of them. But I mean, Chainsaw Man was once every couple of weeks for a few weeks there, which I was fine with. I'm like, if they want to space it out, by all fucking means.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like we've got My Hero Academia's in its final arc that's going to be wrapping up probably by mid next year.
Kudos on him for knowing when to call it quits, I guess. I mean, not having it go forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're going to get there. They just give you a better checkpoint.
No, they won't. I think this is like the last checkpoint before like you get the objective.
It's so bad.
I still maintain I would love a Chainsaw Man video game where you like make an OC devil, like your whatever devil, and it's like fucking Shadow of Mordor, where you're just fighting your ranks of devils, because there is a hierarchy in the devil world with fiends and demons and stuff.
I got greedy.
You tried.
You're not a speedrunner.
If he's a speedrunner, he would have jumped off a little bit earlier, and then it would have glitched through. And...
Gone backwards. And he would have done a...
you know, I think there is, like, this is something along those lines here.
I mean, these models are already upside down. It already looks weird. It wouldn't take much for you
Is
to
this
just,
the
like...
Dark Souls of Ratchet and Clank? I'll show myself.
Is
out
this the Citizen
understand.
Kane of Ratchet and Clank?
Platformers.
Citizen
God,
Kane.
I really
Ratchet
need to
Clank,
fix that.
Ratchet and Clank.
Man,
Jesus, that slowed
something
down.
popped into my head earlier, and I just want to share it so it's not trapped in my brain anymore. Do you remember? Do you remember the term ludonarrative dissonance?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the one
used
phrase
a
that
lot.
people that games crit people knew like 10 years ago. Like the one turn of phrase.
BioShock.
Yeah, yeah. The fourth wall break stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Spec Ops The Line.
I still need to play that, which I haven't yet, but I don't know. There's something about it. It's just like makes me not interested in that.
It's
game.
not going to hit the way it would have hit in like 2010. Like games writing
Yeah.
is like, I'm not saying games writing is like, you know, like you're
awake every fucking time. Jesus, is there another one? Fuck.
It's like Gears 2, how I thought that the Gears 2 story was very emotionally effective. When it's like, no, you were 15, and it was sad when the guy's wife died. It was also the game where he screams about being in a giant worm. Like, it's not...
Gears of War 2 is the best Gears of War game, and it's mostly because of that worm.
Easiest horde mode to get into, at least. Make your shots!
Jesus. It gets so sticky because like you move forward a little bit, and then it automatically initiates you to the dash instead of the high jump.
Sounds like a skill issue, Curtis. What do you think?
I second that.
There, happy now?
I don't know. That's a toughie there.
It's programmed for you, so you have to be hanging on that ledge. You cannot make it as like a simple jump. You need to be hanging.
All right.
You're saying an awful lot for somebody who keeps fucking falling off here.
What was that cackling? That was terrifying. I don't know if we were supposed to call attention to that or not.
That's part of the immersion in Ratchet Clank.
Ah, okay.
Just cackling in the distance.
Clank every now and again just cackles maniacally.
Doing alright. I just need to make it like a dead fucking sprint through that area, because I don't have enough ammo to get through like 4 of those fucking crab motherfuckers. Nope,
Oh,
nope,
no.
nope, fuck.
Bad. Just get over that
Jesus
ledge.
Christ.
Okay. Alright, just...
I have to go guns a-blazing now.
No, don't do it. Don't
No,
do it.
I can't, because there's 4 of them here.
Okay. Okay.
There's another one up here. There's 2 more. Fuck off.
There you go.
Well, what is it about platformers who always have that optional first-person perspective for like just looking around? I guess like a lot of even like Jack
it's
and
pointless.
Daxter,
Yeah,
you don't do anything. I mean, in this game, at least you fire a gun.
It's
Yeah, but, like,
immersion.
in later Ratchet Clank games, like it is unneeded unless there's like a particular weapon that you have to work like a guided missile.
Right.
Fuck it.
Go, little guys, go. All right.
Hate these motherfuckers.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh Jesus. Okay, that's a ship. What we got? I got Jack and shit.
I thought we were playing Ratchet and Clank.
It is a different 2D platformer, I think.
Fuck you, Jesus
Trying to break
Christ!
into the elusive, conquer, gross ass fucking 3 platformer genre. Jack and shit.
Jack and shit. That'd be one of the more. Woo! You could dodge that one.
Oh,
Oh, go.
almost there, almost there, almost
Fuck
there.
it. Fuck it.
Haul
fuck
ass,
it.
haul ass, haul ass.
Oh,
There
fuck you!
go.
Damn it,
Hopefully
I have to
that's the
climb up now.
checkpoint. Hopefully that's a checkpoint.
It's a mag boot section, so I should be fine as long as I don't get hit by some.
What happened to no ammo pickups, huh?
No.
No
It's like I can't buy ammo.
Oh, I see.
Finally.
All right.
Hello again, everyone. Supreme
Good job.
Executive Chairman Drek here to fill you in on our progress. We have now found the perfect orbit for our planet, one which will allow for the optimum temperature.
Lilo and Stitch, bad guy looking ass.
However, there is a planet now occupying that orbit, and sadly, for its few insignificant
That's one of those like Disney properties that got like a full-fledged show, and
In like 3 movies.
yeah, and it just seems like you only remember the one movie.
Pretty much.
Which one was
it's
it?
a good movie. Lilo and
Lilo and
Stitch.
Stitch.
Oh yeah.
They had Stitch the series, they had a Lilo and Stitch 2 Stitch as a glitch, and then they had like a series wrap up.
Interesting.
Leroy and Stitch.
I forgot that there was like an actual like TV movies attached to it as well.
Yeah, the second movie was like basically a pilot for the TV show.
Yeah.
That's what I've been telling you.
Yeah.
I'm still gunning for Quark. If we end up taking out Drek too, fine.
Is he in space? Is that why he's wearing the helmet?
No, it's just like the
Ratchet
the
Deadlock.
planet is so polluted that you need to wear like an O2 mask.
Oh, I thought that was
Video games weren't so preachy.
liberal agenda, the liberal Lumbex agenda.
Oh, not this shit. We were
We aren't in
just
the Ratchet. We aren't in the Ratchet Deadlock there. That's when I fell off.
Yeah.
That's where it turned into like oh yeah, like let's like go further with the commercialism.
Well, to be fair, the shooting aspect and the boss fights were the best parts of these games, so I get it. But I didn't need a full game of it either.
Yeah, I still believe like Ratchet Deadlock is underrated. You know, it was slightly maligned because it was more of a shooter than not.
And once again, Sly Cooper did have weird like air fights and shit. Plane combat.
How much ammo Mind Glove and Blaster.
Thieves in Time really didn't make any splashes. They did return to Sly
That's
Cooper.
the only Sly
Nobody
Cooper
cared.
game I played. Yeah, it was fine.
I think I talked to Tony Wilson about it. He said how he didn't care for it particularly, is my understanding. But he might have had to make a guide for it at the time. I may be wrong on that, but he might have had to make a guide for it at the time. And I can see that ruining a game.
Yeah, I would imagine so because it doesn't sound too pleasant just doing guide work because like I've had enough. I have a hard enough time trying to follow a guide.
I remember I made a guide for one game pretty much only, and it was Metal Gear Rising. I was able to find all the collectibles in that game.
That's an
Oh, wow,
interesting one
nice.
to guide.
Yeah,
it might be a good one to guide to because like it is more linear than not.
exactly.
Was it specifically a walkthrough or was it like a collectible kind of guide?
I mean, it was like I think it was both. I mean, it was like kind of like the Halo terminals kind of deal.
I gotcha. I've done 2 that I got paid for. And one was for I don't even remember what it was called. What was it? It was oh my god, I can't even remember. One was Lost Planet 3. And the other one I couldn't even tell you the name of because I think it just came. I'll have to look it up.
I only ever got
Planet
paid
3,
from Fandom when I made like that Dragon Ball script, and I got paid by Uppercut whenever that's written for them. Obviously. That's about it.
Probably a lot better than a lot of other people.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, I'm not saying that to be like, oh, what was me? I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's all I got on my sleeve.
Yeah.
Everything else is unpaid, or I mean, a pack strip like your bad paid for.
It wasn't Mag, but it was similar to Mag. Does anyone remember Mag? It was God. It was like
Haze.
No, God no. It was like a third-person shooter, but it was like. I'm gonna try and see if I can find it, but I don't think I'm gonna.
A third-person shooter on like the PS3 generation.
I know there's only like 10, so
there's only 10, exactly.
Couldn't be too hard.
There's not like 500.
No. Ah, there it is. Wow, they have not erased me from Games Radar. I'm very surprised.
Games Radar?
Dust 514. Does anyone remember that game?
No, wait, is that? Oh god,
is that a Vita launch game or something?
No. I think this is it something along the lines of a. It was an attachment like side genre type game because you had like the MMO and then like the side game. Like Dust was a side game.
EVE Online. It's a
that was it. EVE Online. It's a spin-off to EVE Online.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, not to diminish guide writing, but you know what I did for this guide? I literally just went into the like upgrades and skill trees and just wrote them all down and put them in a doc file. That was it.
Easy clicks. Yeah.
Easy. It works. And then it'll be 10 years old next year. That game has turned to dust in a lot of people's memories. But someone will probably celebrate its 10-year anniversary.
I'm sure somewhere at the EVE Online developers will remember finally on that game. It's like, hey, I worked on that. It was shit, but I worked on it.
It lasted 3 years. It ended in May 2016.
Now I'm through the rabbit hole of just 2011 Games Radar articles. Like this fucking, when we talk about Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon preview.
Do I?
No. Let's go.
Tatted by heart. Yeah.
And because it was like 7 site revisions ago, all the images are fucking like 144p.
Oh god.
The 24-hour marathon videos are still nice in HD. Those are nice to revisit every once in a while, for sure.
Yeah, I haven't really revisited those much at all.
Well, just like the little recap music video. Those are fun.
Oh, okay.
Man, please don't hate us, Games Radar people. Man, your website looks bad.
Donkey shit, or worse than before.
No offense. Maybe it's the ad blocker, but I mean, it just looks basic.
I think it is the ad blocker because I'm seeing what you're seeing, where it's just gray.
Yeah.
We are definitely blocking all the ads, so.
And I'm not mad about that. But
me neither. I mean, it is what it is.
Do they even have a
U.S. operation? I have no idea.
Zero clue.
Like I legit don't know anyone else who's left from that era, or even like the radio radar era,
or even the Talk Radio UK era.
God,
that was a parallel universe that we didn't fucking like.
No, it was not bad.
No, it wasn't.
Episodes I've heard.
Oh my God, just looking at some of these people, I don't.
I mean, it just seems more like a Screen Rant type website, you know?
It quickly became that, but not as shitty as Screen Rant.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, it got its like cachet during the Talk Radar era, and then progressed to oh, well, talent was hemorrhaging, and we wanted to pivot to more general. Want to be more about than just games.
People didn't realize the personality thing that Twitch streamers would kind of usurp in that kind of instance.
Games Radar really didn't have that problem because they all left to go do something else because they were like third or fourth place essentially.
Yeah, they were smart.
I know there's some sort of like secret like portal here that I need to get to, but I just can't find it. I might look it up later on, but how y'all feeling?
I'm about to say I'm an old man rapping here.
Yeah, I'm about to head to Betty Bye time.
Betty Bye time. Oh, it's only 9:36. You're not that much of an old man.
I'm not going.
It's
to
a
bed.
Sunday.
I'm gonna get prepped for.
Oh, prepped. You're gonna get your nightie and your little like little candle.
You get your little Scrooge cap and your striped pajamas.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta get all Ebenezer. You know how it is.
Ebenezer.
We're gonna make that a thing now. We're just gonna.
You get all Ebenezer so you can be screwed later.
Yeah.
Taking a mile to swim.
God, everything in this game is just so slow. I'd hate having to go back and play this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are.
And eventually you do get like a jets for like underwater exploration, but too late.
But you know, it's not too late to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell over at YouTube.
Sure. Like if you're on YouTube or Twitch, I like you don't give me money. Don't give me money. Just like I'm just
Patreon.com/23breach. You can throw him a couple bones to get exclusive access to his Discord messages.
Like Discord messages, yeah, those are so valuable. They get like no engagements. Yeah,
that's currency.
Classified intel.
No. That's not a dig on you all. It's my other Discord servers. Did not realize that.
No, you're good. No. But yeah, click the bell icon, smash that button, whatever you YouTubers do.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, comment down below.
Don't give the minus sign. Do the positive one because you won't be able to see it anyway. So just
I don't even know what UI you're talking about anymore.
I don't either. It just sounded cool.
All right. Anything to plug? Anything to share? Anything you want? I don't know. Is this something nice you've seen in the world, or?
Nice.
Well, I mean, shout out to the Red Wave, or the one that didn't happen.
The Red Wave, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the Red Wave that really cascaded over all of us. Definitely did.
Turns out it was just one woman on her period, and that was it.
Her sploosh.
Social commentary.
You can mock us now.
From three
we're gonna come
cis
for you
men
in 2024. So
three cis men talk about women.
We got that DeSantis Trump.
The Civil War. The internal Civil War.
Yeah.
Little Ronnie. Yeah.
Ooh, he could die, and I wouldn't shed tears.
You could say that with a lot of people at this point. Like I don't give a fuck.
There's a list.
Yeah. We're not saying we have lists, but there is.
Okay.
On Minecraft.
Yeah.
Look, there's a reason why it wasn't a red wave. It turns out when you let a lot of people die in the pandemic, and a lot of people who leaned a certain way who didn't want to get the vaccine,
and also you try and take a lot of rights away from people, they get pissed. They say no.
There's a lot of variables that show, like, you know, like it's probably not going to happen. Sorry. All right, Dylan, do you have anything to plug?
I've got nothing to plug for now. When I get the content wagon going, I'll definitely have to plug that. But for now, just you can go to twitter.com/tyranny because I'm back on the platform in a more regular capacity, and while you still can beat the algorithm, follow me.
Just wait for Elon Musk to just like do a selfie while he's writing the nuke down on Twitter.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for joining me in the archive or live. I don't know if it's live. I don't have the metrics because it's going to drive me insane. But see y'all sometime later. I don't know. I have a good schedule.
So I think you're live.
I am live.
But if you are watching this on Monday, It's live
On Monday,
stream.
Tuesday,
I don't
or
know.
5 years from now, when you're looking me up on LinkedIn, you find this video. I'm sorry, and also thank you for sticking to it.
When you're looking up my obituary and you stumble upon this.
And you go 2.5 hours into the video.
It's like, wow, this man really got killed by a bull? Shit, okay.
Did not.
It doesn't seem that exciting to be killed by a bull, you know? Anywho. Alright. Time to shop this. Tidy up, y'all. Or
Toodles.
Toodles.
Bye.
Yeah, my brain's not working.
Clink.